Last week was one of the most historic weeks in crypto, when the news spread that FTX was leveraging user funds and also using the FTX token as collateral. This was enough for CZ to say, "I'm out." This then caused a chain reaction and a run on the FTX token, turning the risk FTX was taking into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now, FTX has now filed for bankruptcy, turning this into the true Lehman Brothers moment of this crypto winter, and more companies could soon follow. Right now, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is at an all-time high. Emotions are running hot. We've had Terra Luna, Celsius, FTX all go under as we now move into the end game for this crypto winter. People will still be processing losses and blame will be being thrown around as denial turns into anger. And so the question is, what happens now? Well, in this video, we'll be taking a look at three main things. First, we'll take a quick look at the aftermath. Then I'll be sharing my plan to navigate the next 3 to 6 months. And then we'll finish with regaining control of the perspective. And to reiterate, you should never just copy off one person. This may not be right for your situation. As we've all seen, the crypto market is incredibly unpredictable, so just use this as a reference point of many. Okay, first up, let's take a quick look at the most recent aftermath. So first up, taking a quick look at what has gone on. So essentially we had this big, long, boring sideways pattern that went on for a couple of months and it has broken to the downside. Now, if you're on social media, you'd think World War III is breaking out as the sentiment right now is crazy, but it's actually, if you look at the big picture, it's not as big as what has previously happened. There's been much bigger crashes in the past. Looking at what has previously happened isn't as bad as what is being said on social media. And as far as where it got to, the low was 15,600 approximately. And I've had this line in now for quite some time, which is a line which I think it could be going back to, which is around the 12,000. So it's a good breakdown. Now, more companies could be following suit, and I think it's 50-50 whether we get down to this 12,000 and below. Now, when it comes to my plan, I base it off numbers and not emotion. And so this is how this crypto winter has happened. This is where I've been dollar cost averaging in. So obviously there's quite a lot around this $40,000, $45,000 Bitcoin level, which I'll talk a little bit about at the end. But really the idea is to invest at maximum pessimism in the biggest fearful crashes. So I was very pleased with this buy here. Very pleased with this buy here. I've been sitting on my hands in this entire sideways pattern, and this is where we're at right now. So as far as my plan, this is basically it. Based on a couple of if-then scenarios, and it's based off Bitcoin's price. The first is, if Bitcoin breaks below 15,000, then the money that I've got to invest, I'll be putting half of it in at that point. So whether this be 12,000, 13, 14, obviously the lower the better, but that will be the threshold. Then from then, if Bitcoin were to break below 10,000, I'll then invest the other chunk and pretty much try to avoid all the fear, all the anger going on social media and just keep it about the numbers. Now, when it comes to what I will be buying, I'll share that at the end. And spoiler, it's not actually Bitcoin. And then as far as my own personal situation, I do have a bit of a dilemma because I'm currently selling a property which is the ideal cash that I'm going to be using. But unfortunately, it's taking a bit longer, and it's probably gonna take about 2-3 weeks for that to complete. So I kind of don't want things to break down until then. Now, I do have some money I can use in my business account, but if I draw that out, then there'll be a 40% tax liability. So that's a dilemma that I've got if this were to break down in the next week or so. And now to finish with regaining the true perspective. So this is something that I recently shared. It's just the crypto market annual performance from January to December in the following years. And there has been a pattern emerging. Now, when you do get these historic big drops, it's not that difficult for the next year to be positive. And this has been the pattern with an 80% pullback, 2018, next year being a positive and then a good year. And this is where we're at right now. So it's a 62% drop. And the thing is, the more this drops, the more likely and easier it is to get a positive year next year. Now, if Bitcoin's at 15,000 right now, in the entire year, if Bitcoin were to go from 15 to 30,000, which isn't that much, that would be a 100% increase. So my plan is to invest at maximum pessimism, to buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own. Because even if Bitcoin were to go from 15,000 to 30,000, my portfolio would be in an excellent position. Ready for the next halving event. Here are the halving events. Ready for an explosive 2024. And finally, just want to draw your attention to the last big blow off top and the last crypto winter. Again, to regain true perspective. So we had these brutal crashes which went on for quite some time. Eerily enough, we had this couple of months sideways pattern where everyone is praying that the biggest crashes have already happened. And weirdly enough, just around this time, which again was November, which is very, very interesting, the crypto market lost 50% of its value from there. And this is when you lose even the most optimistic people. This is when you feel at your absolute worst. And it's the end game of the crypto winter. And let's be honest, guys, it truly does hurt. When you're feeling real pain from everything that's happened, you'll know you're entering the bottom phase of the market. But if you've seen my videos about the next bull market coming, and it will be coming, then everything that has happened as the market grows and the market builds, this is what was so fearful. It will just become a blip on the radar. And I did mention about my dollar cost averaging buys around this point. Now, when this section becomes like this section, I'll probably be saying I wish I'd bought more around the 40,000 mark, as I do think we are destined for much higher prices. Daytime always follows night, and summer will come again. Last week, the crypto market had its true Lehman Brothers moment after a run on the FTX token caused its downfall, taking everybody by surprise. Now, I've been mostly fortunate in this crypto winter as I wasn't exposed to Terra Luna. I didn't hold any funds on Celsius. Although I did use FTX, I wasn't holding any funds on there. And with BlockFi, the funds were removed when the whole Celsius crisis was unfolding. So for me, it was mainly just Crypto 20, and frustratingly, they were keeping half of the funds on Celsius. So this is still ongoing, though because they are a regulated company, I do remain optimistic. So for me, the plan hasn't changed. I've been dollar cost averaging into the biggest, scariest crashes, trying to ignore all the fear and noise that is going on. And my next buys will be a Bitcoin price sub 15,000. And then it gets below 10,000. Now, when it comes to what will I be buying, this is based off my personal risk profile, also diversifying against what I already own. I have a £20,000 capital gains tax-free option using a stocks and shares ISA, investing in Coinbase, and I also like BNB, and I also like Matic. And finishing on a positive note, I do believe that 2023 is going to be a positive year for crypto, and that in a couple of years, this big, crazy crypto winter that we're all going through will just be a small blip on the radar of a much bigger adoption picture. So there you are, guys. I hope you found this useful. My philosophy, as always, is keep calm and dollar cost average, but this may not be right for everyone. And from that, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.